All right.
Can I have the black and pink one?
Yeah, grab that one. Switch it out. Switch it out. Totally understand. Yeah, so if you need a water or any drinks, they're down here in this cooler.
Okay.
All right, so I think maybe we just like do like an exercise where we relax for a second.
Okay.
All right, so do you have any exercises?
I do.
Well, yeah. Why are you saying it like that? What are you doing?
I just deep breath.
You
just inhale, hold it, and then you exhale.
Why'd you say it like it was funny? All right, we're doing this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is Shot 30 Podcast, and I am Shane Newbert. And guess what? This is the second part of the 4-part series of Why Guys Don't Get Dates. And sitting across from me today is the beautiful Emma Coghill.
Hi.
You gotta say it louder than that.
Hello.
Whoa, jeez. Blow us out of the room, jeez. And she has made the trip here today to take part in this. We're gonna figure it out. This is the day. We're gonna get down to the bottom of why guys aren't getting dates.
I've got the answers, I think.
You do?
Probably.
I think you probably do. I think everybody's answers are gonna be kind of different.
Yeah, for sure.
Because everybody's come across good guys, bad guys, weird guys, and so they all turn out a little bit different.
Yep.
Yeah, just like every pancake turns out a little different, depending on how long you leave it on. Mm-hmm. But, so Shot 30 Podcast is sponsored by Mrs. Newby's Cakes and Cookies. Visit Mrs. Newby's on Facebook and Instagram today. Order your beautiful delights. You've had it.
Yep, they did my wedding cake.
Yes, they did.
They did amazing.
It was great. So, yeah, she's got another huge order tomorrow, and she's getting rock and rolling. Visit Mrs. Newby's on Facebook and Instagram today. So, yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to get down to the bottom of why guys don't get dates. Okay. Are you sure you're okay?
Probably.
Yeah. You think you can figure it out why?
I feel like I've dated enough to know some of the answers.
Well,
I don't know if I know the core because I don't have the chromosomes to know what the heck's going on in there, but
yeah, there's a lot going on in that little brain cell that we have. But if you were to just throw it out there right at the start here, have you ever been on bad dates?
Oh yeah.
Let's hear some.
Well, there are a couple. So I've had my fun on Tinder.
Mm-hmm.
I was single, 20s. It was a good time. And I lived it, so that was good. And, you know, Tinder, you see what you see on the internet until you meet them in person, so it's definitely different, for sure. You
feel like you were ever catfished?
I for sure was catfished into a Sons of Anarchy date.
Ooh.
It was insane. Like
your hubs told me to be ready for this date.
It's insane.
Okay, let's hear it.
So I met this guy on Tinder, and we had some, good conversations. I could definitely tell he was a little rougher around the edges, but I was just having fun, so whatever, it was fine. And we met downtown Davenport, and he was on his motorcycle, and that was, like, cool to me. Like, motorcycles are a plus, for sure. And we met down at a bar, and I didn't see his motorcycle, like, when I went in, because I drove separate, because creepy, you gotta get out of there if you can.
Absolutely.
And he, more or less, we, like, had a couple drinks. That was fine. We went out, and he's like, well, do you want to go to this other bar? And I was like, yeah, for sure. And he's like, I'll drive. You leave your car here. Okay, totally no problem. So we go on his motorcycle, and he's, like, leather vested out. I didn't think anything of it. It's fine. We're just going to a different bar.
Did he have chaps on?
No, he didn't. But so we went to this other bar, and it was a house. And he's like, you can't look at the camera. Don't knock on the door either. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, what do I do with my hands? I'm Ricky Bobby. Like, okay, And so we go into this house, and it's like a living room that has a bar built into it, and it's literally like it looks like a mini bar, but in a house. It's a biker club. But they're like hardcore, I guess. And so we had a drink there. They didn't have what I wanted to drink, so we left and went to another location, which was a biker guy's party, like one of his brother's parties.
In the living room?
In a garage.
Oh, okay.
It was in a garage. And so we're all while, like, I'm drinking, I'm riding on a motorcycle with somebody I just met, downtown Davenport, dark,
And can't show your face.
But it was fine. Like, it was okay. And so then we went down to another bar, the Rusty Nickel, I want to say maybe. And that's like south, not great, like not good place in Davenport. And we're drinking and it was fine. And then something happened. I don't even probably know at this point. And he took off his vest and he's like, here, hold this. I hold it and feel a gun. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. You're
okay. I'm holding a gun
you're in
a bar.
You're in the midst of a hardcore
And so
date.
he literally, like, busted his beer bottle on someone's head. And he's like, come on, we got to get out of here. Like, we got to go. And I'm like, oh, okay. Let's go to my car so I can go home, you know, thinking this isn't the date for me. And he took me to a park to, like, escape. Like, it felt like we were running from something, and, like, to escape. And then we, like, sat there for an hour. And I'm like, okay, like, I really want to go to my car. Like, we talked, and it wasn't a bad deal. But it was definitely scary, and I was definitely eager to get in my car. Like, I felt like Sons of Anarchy is what I just dealt with.
That's a pretty rough first date.
It was insane. And needless to say, there wasn't a second date.
Did the guy look like the main character from Sons of Anarchy?
No.
Oh, because, I mean, you could probably make...
I could have made it work.
You could pull some strings for a guy that looks like that.
Right.
Do you remember his name? What's his name?
His name was Jake.
That's the date's name?
The date's name. Oh, no. On Sons of Anarchy, his name's Jax.
Yeah, okay, because that's what I was like.
But the guy's name was Jake.
Damn, boy.
It was rough. Are we not supposed to drop names? Sorry. Anonymous.
We
Jake
didn't drop
from
the last...
State Farm.
Yeah, from State Farm with the khakis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that's a rough first date. Woof. Yeah, we're literally... I mean, so far... What we've been reading and hearing is about guys who just don't pay the bill or...
No, it was insane. Like,
yeah, that's rough.
And that's like, if people ask me bad date experience, that's my go-to.
Do you think that a lot of time people are put in, especially women, are put into a situation or scenario where they don't feel comfortable saying no, they don't feel comfortable saying yes?
Oh, yeah,
absolutely. So they're just kind of like wandering down this road. Because I know I've been in that situation myself where I'm just like, you know, not with, like on a date with a guy, but I don't want to say no, but I don't think that we should be here.
I mean, after the, living room bar, I was ready to go back to my car, if that's helpful. And he was like, it's okay. So, and like, intimidated a little bit to like not say no. Like, okay, let's just go for it then. Have you had any other dates that have even compared to that one? That's pretty rough. I mean, I've had some crazies for sure. Like, I love you on date number 2.
That's, yeah.
Faked cancer before.
Woo.
Yeah, what do you want to hear? I got all of them.
Fake cancer. I want to hear that one. But first, let me tell you, Shot 30 Podcast. We run hand in hand with Conspiracy Kimonos. Get your custom-made gi for jiu-jitsu. Visit them on Facebook and Instagram today. Get your custom-made gi for jiu-jitsu and start beating people up. So when you show up at a wild party for the first day, hey, those biker boys are going to be a little bit afraid because you pull out that kimono and you're done.
For sure. I could have used a gi.
Yeah. Okay, so the faked cancer. This is I know people who have done this. This is always rough area for me to think about, bat around with, but it happens, and you've got one. So let's hear it.
Okay, so I actually dated this person for, I think, 2 months or something like that. It wasn't there wasn't, like, heat by any means. I was mostly bored. Uh-huh. And that sounds horrible, and it is probably. But he just didn't spark anything. And so... I decided to end the relationship. There wasn't a physical attraction. There wasn't a chemical thing, nothing. So I decided to end the relationship. And when doing so, he said, well, I just went to the doctor, this week and had a scan, and I have a tumor in my stomach and on my brain.
So he wanted you to look like the asshole who would leave someone with cancer.
Yes. And so I was like, I'm sorry. I'll be there for you as a friend.
Wow, that's great move.
Yeah.
That, like, you can continue with your initiative of what you thought and what you wanted to do. Like, You don't have to be forced to be with a person, no matter what the circumstances are. It's a terrible thing. Like, a lot of people have serious injuries or cancer happens, and people decide, I'm going to be miserable for the rest of my life, but you've only got one life to live.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I can find so much appreciation in you just saying, I will support you. I will be here to help if you need, but I'm not going to be...
I followed up with the cancer because he got a new girlfriend, and his cancer seemed to have gone away. Well, drunk Emma likes to make phone calls. And I called him, and I said, hey, whatever happened with your cancer? Did, having sex with this girl cure it? He wasn't happy with the phone call. But he didn't have cancer, so it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that do you think that he exhausted that one move on you, or do you think that maybe he's played that one before?
I actually know one of his other girlfriends that he dated, and he has pulled it before.
Oh.
It's been more than once.
That's a bad move. That's such a weird move.
Yeah, you don't fake cancer. It's a serious thing.
Some people that I know I've come to find out, had faked cancer, and I'm not saying these are friends by any means.
Right.
Faked being in the military.
I've had that.
Faked being in the military so hard that they are walking with all the veterans, these guys who have been through hell and back,
right.
walking
and they,
beside them.
Make them their brothers and make them think too. I've seen that happen.
Yeah, that's also. I mean, I don't think anybody should get a second date with somebody who does either of those things.
Agreed.
Yes, we have emails. We have some other stuff, just messages that have come in. We can go over those if you're ready.
Yeah.
If you have any more, we can keep rocking, because those stories are. I mean, they're exactly why guys don't get second dates.
Yes, I mean, something gets in their head and they just go crazy, and you just are kind of like, I thought I was crazy because I am.
But guys have a hard time dealing with rejection.
Yes,
some guys
do.
There are some guys who just take rejection and they just put their head down. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't make you happy. And then there's some guys who are like, no, you're not leaving.
That's my husband.
You'll leave on my terms.
That's my husband.
He won't let you leave
no,
on.
No, in a safe way. In a safe way. In a safe way. Yeah.
He's right behind us here.
He was not. His motto is persistence is key. Mm-hmm. And for some men that doesn't work, and for him it did. That's
great. Mm-hmm. That really it speaks along towards the last episode that we did. Some people don't think that they should be, asking a person out or going, like, why would you go on a date with me? But just like you said, persistence is key.
To an extent.
Yeah. And not like, hey, good morning, it's 7 a.m. I just happen to be walking by every single day when you go out to drink your coffee on the front porch. Stuff like that. No, there is a time and place. If you think you're being creepy, you're probably being creepy.
Probably, yeah. Usually, yeah. Because girls think not creepy things are creepy. So if you're thinking you're creepy, you're probably right.
But isn't it weird? Haven't you seen the show You?
Yes.
So, every woman in the world thinks that the main character, you hate him, but you kind of love him.
No, we don't love Joe. That's a toxic.
A lot of people do.
It's toxic and unsafe.
Joe's a weirdo and a creep, and every time Tim says, oh, he's so sweet, though, you're rooting for him, I'm like, are you serious?
I don't root for Joe.
I don't either.
To the fans.
Yeah, Mish, that's to you. Buzz off, bro. Rooting for Joe. She always does that, though. I'm like, oh, really? You're rooting? Yeah. When people have seen the Zac Efron version of the Ted Bundy show.
Yeah, and they're like, heck yeah, Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy should be free because it's Zac Efron. Really? Oh, I went on this Ted Bundy rant on the Solo podcast the other day. I was losing it because people want to act like Ted Bundy's exempt because he was handsome and smart. First of all, you want to tell me that he's smart after all these people's lives he's ruined, completely destroyed? Ted Bundy's smart. He was a smart guy. He defended himself in court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, great idea. Great thinking.
It's not hard to talk shit.
He's not smart at all. Oh, okay, we'll get off that rant. Whew, man, I hate Ted Bundy, man. If I could go rounds with anybody, it'd be Ted Bundy.
He's a genius.
Oh, get out of here. He's not a genius.
How long he did it? Genius.
Yeah, right. He was a loser. That's what I always call him.
He was.
All right, so we're going to dive into these emails. We'll talk after. All right, we're going to dive into these emails. The first one is, warning, shameless message to follow. I recently went out with some old friends from high school. One being an old friend who had come out as gay back then. He is apparently straight now and in my DMs hard. I just don't know exactly how I feel about this. Confused friend. I don't know.
He came out and now he's straight.
He came out as in high school. I don't know. How do you that's a twist. That's a twist because in high school too, a lot of those guys get really close with the girls, just like being a girlfriend.
Right, for sure.
So is it was this guy like a close friend? I don't know. It's really, there's a lot of hidden messages in there.
I feel like that could have been a manipulation. Like, was he openly gay to everybody in high school or only to that person?
And was it, it a time frame 10 years ago in high school and now he's just sliding in? Or was it, hey, 2 years ago in high school and now you guys are 20 years old?
Right.
And because that, maybe time could create different people. Time creates different people all the time.
For sure.
I don't know.
I wouldn't shut
the door. It depends on how well you knew them as a person.
It depends on the closeness in high school versus how things are now and to what extent he misled her, I guess.
And it also sounds like maybe she's contemplating a date or the DMs and stuff.
Well, I mean, if it's enough to ask about, then have the conversation.
Yeah.
I would just be straightforward and just be like, okay, well, this is a different story than what I heard before. What's up?
Yeah, that's 100% the best advice. Mm-hmm. Just talk to them.
Yeah.
Because you clearly know that they came out to you as gay then, and if they're not anymore, just talk to them.
Right.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
Man. Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, just have a conversation. What's up?
Yeah, just dive into it. I think that's excellent. And I think that's where a lot of people misconstrued things. Everything can be answered with a simple question. Just ask and talk. You don't need to beat around something that's maybe what is on your mind. Just talk about it.
Right, for sure.
And everybody's opinion could be changed or they may stay the same. And then if you're just honest about it moving forward, that's just where you are.
Yeah.
If you have a problem with him being gay in the past, then you have a problem with it.
Right.
But you let him know so you don't deal with 4 months, a year of him messaging you, wondering, thinking that maybe there's signs when you're treating him like a friend from the past.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, let's dive into the next one. That was good. Emma, for the win. That was great advice. Okay, this one is, hey, Shane and ladies, is it normal for a guy to message only at 1 a.m. every day? Julie J. 1 a.m. every day.
No. Well, maybe if he works second shift. But if it's 1 to 1:15 and then no more response and that's it.
Absolutely.
That's for sure weird.
I think we're all the way on the same page.
1 a.m. in a different scenario could be because 1 a.m. is the only time he's allowed to.
Or
without
1 a.m.
being in
drunk
trouble.
time.
Or drunk time, yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird one. That's a weird one because everybody has a day off.
Right.
Everybody has a day off. So if that, that day off, let's say he gets off from work, he's stressed out, work 10, 12 hours. Some people work really hard.
Yeah.
And if that guy gets off work and messages you to just hope to see if you're awake, that's kind of sweet.
Right.
But if he's off on Friday this week and you get a message at 1 a.m. still that day, very, a lot of red flags.
Yeah. So for sure, that's definitely need more information. But if kind of what you were saying, if 1 a.m. is the only time, yeah, people have work, but that's kind of my biggest thing is you make time to be hey, real quick, I'm going to be busy today. You're not going to hear much from me. Okay, cool. For sure, I understand. Versus just completely neglecting to communicate whatsoever.
I completely agree with you. Some of these emails that come in, they need more information.
I know. I want to dive in. Give me 20 questions.
And you can also send emails in to Shot 30 Podcast. We have some more episodes going forward here, but it's Shot the number 30, Shot the word 30, then the number 30 at gmail.com. We'll put a link up right there. Yeah. Shot3030 at gmail.com. And send in any questions, stories, or anything you just want to be told on here. Some people send some aggressive stuff. Whoa. Yeah, when I was reading, I was like, good Lord, is it on here or what? Yeah, those were, they were XXX for 400.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
I've got no problem with, XXX, but XXX 400, that's woof.
A little much.
Yeah. And then, some people like to send in nudes to Shot 30 Podcast, and I don't care. You can send them in. We've gotten a couple of nudes. Most of them all have been guys, so.
Oh, even better.
But I don't care. I'll just show Timmery and say, let's move on with our day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have girl talk upstairs oh my God, he should shave. All right. This one's kind of a long story.
Okay.
I'm going to take a drink before I do this.
I'll join you.
And thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
After all the cancels, you save the day. And with your Willie Nelson, I Willie love the USA.
Yeah.
Oh, I just put it together when I said that.
Yeah.
I really do.
I really do.
Whoa. All right, here we go.
I sneezed.
Hey, Shane, I have a story to tell about a first date gone bad. I was so into this guy. We talked all the time. He was funny, smart, good looking, blah, blah, blah. He told me to get all dressed up, that we were going somewhere fancy. He took me to an incredibly beautiful restaurant, and it was amazing. Our conversations were perfect. Everything was perfect. There was no doubt that I was head over heels for this guy, and I thought he was the same towards me. He left the table to use the restroom, and the waiter came over to the table with the check. When he set it down on the table, he got close to me and said, I hate to ruin your night, but you are the third date this week. I was gone before the check came out, and he came out of the bathroom. Jerk. Not a princess after all. Ew.
Okay.
So, third date, same place, third different girl.
Okay.
So the waiter had recognized them all. That's kind of rough. I've never done the
waiter said you were the third date this week.
Yeah, the waiter told the girl that he was the third different girl this week.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah, I would be like, actually, no. I would probably have waited, but I'm petty. I would have waited, and I would have communicated. Because if you were talking consistently leading up to the date, then the expectation, okay. Because I don't date for play, it's not a thing for me. I used to, but not, that wasn't. Yes. When you go on a date and it's a serious, big, they planned it out, it's important, blah, blah, blah. In your head, in my head, as a woman, I would feel okay, this person, is taking the time to plan something like that. We're obviously exclusively talking to an extent.
And a nice restaurant like that,
Right. To an extent, yeah. So I would just I would call him out.
Yeah. Or, a great move would be get the waiter's phone number just to be a complete asshole. But if it's 3 dates, and let's say you've been talking to this guy about this date for a single day for a week, and it's the third date.
Right.
Ooh. But it's also the area where I like to tell people, think about it. Because what if he went out to dinner with his sister one day? Same restaurant. We don't know. We don't know the extent of
You can tell if you're going to dinner with... If the waiter made it a point to say it to her, he was obviously concerned enough to say, hey, look. Because in a date, you can read... I was in the service industry, bartender, waitress, all of that. You can tell if someone's on a date or if they're having dinner with, their sister.
Absolutely, but what if you would, this is where I agree with you. Wait around and say something. Because what if he goes, no, it was my sister was in town. Why would you think this? And then he shows you, no, look, here's a picture of me and my sister. And it's his sister? Or he has an explanation, or maybe if the conversation was that great and you felt attracted to the person, if it's the first date, maybe there is something going forward. I don't know. This one's really touchy.
Yeah.
It's a teeter-totter.
For me, it would be like, I overreact. I react more times than I think.
Yeah.
I'm working on that with age. But for me, I probably would have like, okay, time to be petty. And then when he got back, be like, so did, 3 times charm, or what's up with this restaurant? Mm-hmm. And kind of, I would not be nice.
Yeah, the 3 is what gets me, because 1 could be anything.
Yeah,
3 is
that's
sure. An aggressive mark.
For sure.
I think
I've had the sister thing played on one of my friends before, and we knew okay.
I think we're on the same page.
Right.
Okay, this one. I hate to tell you that I pre-read this one, and I think this is so funny. This is like the worst, but so funny. Hey, bro, I went out with a chick who has an OnlyFans page.
Okay.
And she told me she wanted to take it slow on the first date. ... Ha. Just went home and wrapped up my night with her OnlyFans page.
Oh, gosh. Well, I mean, I personally I don't even know I know to an extent what OnlyFans is. I personally don't have one. But there are actually people in relationships with OnlyFans. Their husbands are or boyfriends are yes, pose for me, whatever. Mm-hmm. And as much as I hate to say it for the guy, take it slow, whatever, but she's showing herself, but that's body confidence and
maybe a job,
right? But because that's income too. But if because I don't have the confidence, to pose, I guess. So if that's what she wants to do with her body and her time and her, space, then that's what she does. And
you just changed my whole perspective of it.
Yeah.
I kind of want to play that story up to be funny, because in my brain I thought this guy is kind of funny and it's silly, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
And why everybody has, if you're a power lifter, when I used to power lift, I'm going to take my shirt off and flex and show everybody my hard work. This is my part-time career, was powerlifting. And so I understand that to a T, and we know actually a couple people who have the OnlyFans page. We know a guy, and he was messaging me. He was like, hey man, if you ever want to talk about this on the podcast, you can. He makes $5,000 a month,
right,
posting pictures of himself. Mm-hmm. Just $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
And he still works.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says it's literally from 7 to 8 a.m. every day. I will do various things, take some various pictures, and post them, and money comes in.
Yep.
It's crazy. I mean, it seems crazy, but it really is the world that we live in.
It's 2020.
Yeah. And
almost 2021.
And this is where I kind of see, with what we just said, the whole prostitution, consented prostitution, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not the whole what.
I'm an escort.
Yeah. I mean, I'm totally cool. With that, I think that it's a great thing. If this is what you want to do for a living and it's what you're great at.
Right.
Everybody's great at different things. And speaking of that, Shot 30 Podcast is sponsored by Jerome Lovely. That is a male escort service coming out of the Quad City, Chicago area. Jerome Lovely is, it's just a bunch of lovely men that want to take you out on a date. If you want to go home to grandma and say, hey, look at my boyfriend. He could be the date just for you. Jerome Lovely on Facebook and Instagram. That's very weird, but they've been here since day one. They've supplied a lot of stuff in here.
You know what?
Jerome Lovely's
you
real.
know that movie? I don't remember what it is, but it's got the redhead, and they fall in love. She hired an escort to be her wedding date.
Oh, what is that movie called?
And they fell in love.
Timmy talks about that movie all the time. That was oh my God, why can't I think of it? it's like one of the greatest movies of all time.
It's a really good movie, and I just feel ridiculous for not remembering.
She's going to be mad at me that I did not remember it. But everybody out there who's like, listen, it's this.
Yes, I'm sorry that I don't. My mom had me watch. I watched it growing up and stuff. I'm sorry I don't know.
Here, watch this. Movie about the female escort.
Male. It was a boy.
Oh, my bad. Popular movies about escorts. Oh, my. This is pulling me up porn. Show about the male escort. Wasn't she the prostitute?
No.
She was the prostitute.
No.
American Gigolo.
No.
Midnight Cowboy. Wedding Date.
Yep. Wedding Date.
Oh, Wedding Date. Wait. Is Wedding Date the same movie I'm thinking of? God, she's a hottie. Whew.
I think
so
it's
those
Wedding
legs.
Date.
I don't think it's it, but who cares at this point?
I think
Everybody's
it's
so
Wedding
mad
Date.
at us at this point.
I think it's Wedding Date. Red hair.
Yeah.
The redhead lady.
I think we have more emails.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to keep going. We're literally just cooking along. This is perfect, and you are so great. Like, this is awesome. Oh, where's the next one? Oh, I got to slide forward. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Here we go. Okay. Question. Have you ever been attracted to a much older man? This is not for me. I don't think this question was intended for me. Have you ever been attracted to a much older man? Do you think all of us women have that one older man crush? Your girl, T.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think all women like...
I wouldn't say all women because, I mean, I get a lot of, like, eyebrow raises when I talk about it. But absolutely, I have explored older men.
Yeah.
And I'm not, it was a good experience for me. Mm-hmm. I didn't dislike it. I couldn't bring him home to mom, but...
I think, too, like... Even me being a man, I think that older women, I know Temery's much older, like, so much older. So, like, way older than me. Like, she's infinity older than me.
She's gonna kick you.
I know, but that's the point of this. But, like, I've been on dates with women that were almost 20 years older, 25 years older.
Yeah.
And it made me mature so much more very fast. Mm-hmm. And Temery knows everything about this. And I think that it molded me into a better person so much quicker. What do you want? Like, this is what older women would say to me. Like, what do you want? Make it clear. Be happy. Don't waste the next 20 years like I did. Yeah. I don't know if older men would be the same.
Not quite.
Older men probably just, like, way more to the point of things, too, or no? Or
they can be. They can be, for sure. I was 20 and 21, and I was talking to somebody that was 38, and I guess I wouldn't say talking, but it was like a relationship to an extent, but not anything like defined, I guess. Mm-hmm. It was hookups.
Totally understand.
But he was definitely to the point. He had kids that were close to my age, so it was kind of like, okay, you're almost my mom's age. I don't want to take you home to mom, and I don't want to meet your kid. That's like me and my little brother.
Like, I went on a date with him.
Yeah, no. But so it wasn't anything serious. We never thought, about a future at that point. And he was to the point, I don't want you to meet my kids. I don't really want to meet your mom, whatever. Mm-hmm. And same thing for me. We got to the point, whatever. And down the road, it got a little bit more, okay, I'm, almost 40. I'm getting there, whatever. And, we talked throughout the years just as friends and stuff in between relationships here and there too. And, I didn't have any issues with the guy. We left cordially, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
And it was an experience.
And I honestly, with talking to you about it, it feels like maybe that helped you too with... That opens your eyes to this whole nother world. It's not just dating. It's not just right now. It's not this minute. You're looking at the future of things. You're looking at the future of yourself. He's looking at the future of himself.
Right.
And people can see eye to eye if you just talk openly like, hey, listen. It
was just a mutual kind of thing.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
I think that's good. I think it's great. I think it's great that you tell that story. I think it's
And my husband, he knows all about it. You know, that's no secret to him.
If he didn't know about it, he's sitting right behind you here and knows about it now.
No, he knows about it. We talk about it sometimes.
So. What do you think the key to developing the best relationship is? Like you and Sean, let's say. Okay. What is the key element to creating happiness every day? Mm-hmm. What do you have to do? Everybody's answer is different.
Okay,
don't worry
so
about it.
I guess I would. Well, I'm blessed because my husband does most of the legwork as far as like happy energy in the household. Mm-hmm. Because I stress, I overthink, and do all of that, and he's a saint. For lack of a better word, he, takes everything, my anxiety, my depression, everything with a grain of salt and talks it out with me and makes me feel supported and loved. Mm-hmm. I'm crazy, and we both are aware of that, very much so. But, we have an agreement, we'll talk through it, and that's something that we worked on in the beginning to we were both miscommunicating. We're both very strong personalities, so very hard to kind of find your peace at first, and then it just kind of falls, and you just find this moment where you're just like, this is it. This is where I'm supposed to be.
I understand that.
I had that, with him, even when I was like, leave me alone. I don't want to. Like, we're not in a non-consensual way. Just like, okay, this is a lot. This is everything, whatever. But
if anybody's made it this far, we can pretty much say whatever we want.
So basically, we just kind of, I had a moment, and that was it.
That's great.
And I tried to fight it. I was like, I don't want this anymore. We're both crazy. And then we just kind of...
That also may be fear, too. Fear of, wow, this may be it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And do I want this to be it, or do I not want this to be it? Do I want it? But it is the greatest feeling in the world, too, especially when you decide to move forward with that.
Yeah.
And that's one of the best things ever. I think that the best thing that me and Timmery have is the fact that is my best friend. Mm-hmm. There's nothing. She could never open up my phone. I mean, she could never see me somewhere. She could never anything and be like, what are you doing? And I mean, I just tell her everything I'm doing. It doesn't matter literally, even if it's maybe something stupid I'm doing. Yeah. I can tell her every single thing I'm doing, and everything's fine.
So, when I met Sean, we actually just talked about this the other day. So, when I met Sean, I had a choice, I guess, and he kind of knew it too because I told him. I was open with him. We had these conversations. But my ex that I was with for a very long time reached out to me during the initial couple months of Sean and I talking. Mm-hmm. And, we weren't official. We weren't, exclusive. Like, we weren't finalized. Well, kind of. We were. But, and my ex reached out to me and was like, this is, I regret losing you. And I compare every person to you. And I miss you. And it would have been so easy to just step right back into that and just comfort. You know it. Yeah. You're not scared, and everything. And I said no, and I took my leap with the man that I'm married to now, and it was the best decision I could have ever made for myself.
Good for you. Yeah. And that's a rabbit hole. A lot of, and I when I say this, I say men, but this goes both ways, men and women. Men try to get a woman lost back because they leave some type of bad taste in their mouth. They try to get that person back. Right. Just like what happened. And you to be strong enough or strong-minded moving forward, you could have made the decision. But the decision is whatever is best for you. Yep. And maybe going back for some people could be the best decision, but it wasn't in your case. Yeah. You're happy. You're so happy.
Yeah, and it was 6 years later. So that just shows how long you can hold on to something.
And I've known you for 4.5 years at this point. And literally right now is the happiest I've ever seen you. Yep. You got a new job. You're happy. You're married. You got a new dog. You're literally, this is the happiest I've ever seen you. And I'm so happy and thankful to have you and your husband in my life. And I'm so happy that you came in here and did this. Do you have anything you want to shout out on here? People, anything that to go donate to, or if, some people have a lot of things going on. Cedar Rapids is in
chaos.
Shambles. So,
Yeah.
like, you head over there, see anybody, message anybody if you know over there. Go help if you can. Do you have anything you want to put any tags on here? Anything like that?
I mean, the economy's crap, so make sure you guys are supporting small businesses.
Absolutely.
You know, I've got my dad owns one and my husband owns another, so support small businesses.
Yeah, throw it
Shop
on.
local.
Do you want to throw it on there?
I mean, if you guys need a catering, call a guy in a grill in Muscatine.
That's
for
pretty
sure.
good, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
there's a lot of people
he
that
does
listen around here.
fantastic food, and he's my dad, so hit him up.
Oh my God, your dad is a sweetheart.
Yes,
Your dad is a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Man, I had a heart-to-heart with that guy one time.
he's the bomb.
What is his business called?
A guy in a grill.
A Guy and a Grill. And you find it where at?
You can find him on Facebook, and he also has a website, aguyandagrill.com. But just search A Guy in a Grill, and there's a good chance that I might actually do your catering because I work for him too.
Dang, I didn't know that.
So, yeah.
Also, go visit Handmade by Haley. She makes, like all the, like Halloween, if you want the witches from
love
Hocus
Halloween.
Pocus. Like
Yes.
she makes all those signs. She can make it say your name, your address, anything like that. Handmade by Haley is a close friend of ours. She did an episode a little while back. She's incredible. She's sweet. She makes all the, like, Grinch signs. She'll make any sign you want, pretty much.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And she's incredible at it. Visit Handmade by Haley on Facebook. She's incredible, and I love that chick, and I love her not husband, I can't say that, but her boyfriend, because they're just not ready to commit yet, even though they've been together for
You can get one of
20
those
years.
doormats that say, like, the blanks. Eventually, he just hasn't asked yet.
Oh, yeah.
Drop
yeah.
hints.
Yeah.
I'm buying it for my friend Jordan, so.
Well, Haley's, like, very aggressive with, hey, don't ask me to marry you yet.
Okay. All right.
She's like, hold up.
You're independent, Haley.
She's incredible, and so is
Amazing.
her man, and I love them so much. But this is Shot 30 Podcast. Shot 30 Podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, all those things, Castbox, whatever. And visit it on YouTube and hit the like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys for being here. This is the second part of why guys don't get dates. I think you did an incredible job.
I hope so. I hope you
really
guys
did.
got some answers for sure.
You really did.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep digging. We've got the shovel out, and we can only keep digging into why
bringing
guys
any
don't get
guys?
dates.
Are you bringing any guys for their input?
We actually... Let's wait.
Okay.
Because we're going to say... I'm going to say something
Okay.
to you, but what we're doing right now is we're building the audience, like,
Ooh, okay.
cliffhanger. So I'm going to tell you something that's going to be happening on Shot 30
Just
Podcast.
kidding, guys.
And it's incredible. So,
That's awesome. Now I'm excited.
Emma, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
You're incredible.
Thank
This
you
was
for
awesome.
having me.